So this is what happened before Kirklees Council and before the other council. Before that was this West Riding County Council, and it met in Wakefield. Why are councils always formed on the 1st of April? It's ridiculous. They still had the boroughs. You see, it was disbanded in 1974, that's when Kirklees Council were formed. The boroughs still had certain functions, but not like anything like Kirklees Council. It was sort of like more like a council for the whole area. It says it was Bradford, Halifax, Huddersfield, Leeds and Sheffield in this county hall in Wakefield. I wonder if before that it was in that really, really, really old hall in Wakefield, but I don't know if that's the Guildhall or not. What's that one opposite the bus station in Wakefield? That really old building that looks like even older than this. I wonder if it was in there before, but it's this one here anyway. And it tells you all about it here. It tells you how they elected people, and then they had these aldermen as well, but some of them were elected by people who were already elected, which is kind of weird. Kind of seems all dodgy to me. But what's interesting is it's saying that it was Liberal all the way through. Now, when the Victoria Tower got built, which is around just before 1900, isn't it? It was Liberal all the way through that. So, Liberal, according to this, still held the council even before, during and after that Victoria Tower was built, even though Ramsden weren't too keen on it. But I did a video on that separately for other factors. But this is Huddersfield. Now, in 1913, they lost overall control, but apparently there was still quite a lot on the council, and then it goes back again to Liberal. When's the war? I think the war is sort of, there was a First World War, wasn't there? You see, there's a First World War and the Second World War, which I don't think are that far apart. And then you see no overall control. Now this is if you look here now at 19, you see those houses got built on that Warrior Tomb in 1954 and 5. So 52, they used to get in for 3 years. So 52, 3, 4. So it was when Labour came in. It was when the Labour Council got overall control. 52 for 3 years. So it's to do with Labour. Can you imagine all that time though? We've got, I suppose you've got growing factories, but since 1800s, there were quite a lot of factories in centre Huddersfield, big buildings in centre Huddersfield. Even if the council building wasn't there, see all the courts are opposite railway station, weren't they? And then it goes back to Liberals again. 1958, 1961, and then to 1970. Which, to say all the way up till 1970, and then Huddersfield's sort of already all been Labour while I've been alive after that. It was Liberal for quite a long time then, even up to 1970. So that, it was to do with Labour getting in 1952 to 3, 4, 5, but I think it was something to do with government behind it. You see, Labour Labour were only established, weren't they, in, was it 1800 or 1900? To say that, and to say that West Yorkshire was quite a, like Birmingham and West Yorkshire and other places were, to say that we had so much growth in industry here, I thought that that's when we started being Labour, to be honest, but not according to this, which is quite unusual, really. So that's interesting. I wonder what those boroughs were, what the functions were of the local areas back then. Roads, public transport, planning, emergency services, and waste disposal. So it was in Wakefield. I don't think they had there weren't been a proper council in Huddersfield then back then. Just the courts that were opposite railway station. And I don't know what courts they had before that in Huddersfield. Before those were built opposite railway station. I wonder, that'd been interesting. I wonder if we don't seem to have anywhere like that, Guildhall. Wonder if we did have some old building like that. Or maybe we had to go to Wakefield. Maybe they had to go to Wakefield to go to court. Because there's that old Crown Court. There was that really, really old Crown Court building in Wakefield, wasn't there? There's some interesting conversations and records of what the Lords were having in Parliament at the time. We've got this Ken Lomas guy. I was just looking through it before I got onto there. And I could comment on all this. They're going on about miners and they're saying that there's whatever levels of unemployment or whatever. I think they're trying to knock up excuses for. See, this is 1973, so this is they were wanting to build more housing. They were saying that people weren't employed. This is when you see this. Oh no, sorry. This is 73, not 50, not 53. For this is in the early 70s, and this is when they're complaining that there's loads of unemployment. Now, they were all pit mining and everything like that, but they built quite a lot of mills. But they were this is when bus driver were telling me that this is when they decided to bring a lot of foreign people over. All the Asian people came over around this time. This correlates. What these Lords are saying is accurate to what the story that the bus driver told me. The guy who's retired. He said that no one wanted to do all this factory work and all this ridiculous stuff. They were kind of satisfied with their lot, where they were living. Just kind of like, they were satisfied with where they were in life and what they were doing. And then the government are wanting not only coal mining, they want to put the foot to the pedal with industry, aren't they? And that's when they brought all the foreigners over. That's what the bus driver said. And this is kind of what these Lords are saying here, that they're moaning about employment and that. And another place, Wakefield and all around there and that. So I think they want. You see, look at Spain. If you watch some of the videos of what happened to Spain, it hasn't got that massive population really. But anywhere now, like Shropshire. I mean, if you think of Telford, is where it actually wasn't Huddersfield where they invented all this industrial machinery. We had Luddites in this area, and we taught about the Luddites at school. But actually, it was Telford and Ironbridge around Shropshire where these the big industry kind of was born, really. Then our area, I think, followed not long after that. But you see, still then look at Oswestry with the Ilford. It managed to, and look at Dorchester. They're complaining here about, advancement and progress and all this, but I think our area has been purposely picked it's been forced on us in a way. And then when what I don't get is when people on the groups going, oh yeah, but we've got David Brown tractors, all this. We have contributed to English industry. I'm proud of it. Not knocking that. I'm not saying that people aren't proud of the contributions and we haven't been hard working and that. But what I'm saying is, in a way, the government forced it. Really, they were actually, to be honest, a lot of the people weren't that bothered. They were happy with they were actually in an alright place in life, and they weren't that bothered about, and there were plenty of other places that were knocking industry out, like, not actually Oswestry, but Telford, for example, that area, Birmingham and that, and it seems to me like they kind of wanted to force it on us, and that's what I was told, really, But this is already when this is 73. That's past 1955. Still want content. They're just wanting to build. So I've got these documents now that talk all about all these entries. It's weird because that looks just like that picture of all the little lines at the side of that old map. On here, what makes me laugh on this is that this is, I don't know if it's got a date on here or what, but people are all getting asbestos garages. This has got Higgs entry, right? 31 pairs of semi-detached houses, and then 7 pairs of semi-detached houses under Hague, right? Woodedge Avenue. And then there's some private persons who are living on there. The one of them's Arthur Parsons. That's Woodbine Road, though. Link Sound and Vision. I think that's at Marsh or Linley or somewhere. But it says, look, concrete TV receiving station. Now, there is no concrete TV receiving station what I can think of at Marsh, or further up than there. I don't know if this is in the 70s or what. If this is if this is to match, does this correlate with detached bungalow? Does this correlate with does it correlate with when they were built? They see that what if these entries here are around when the houses were built, not extensions that people applied for years after, and they all get extensions together. I can't see them all getting extensions all at the same time. Oh, everyone on the road, let's get extensions under his own individual names. What if this is when the actual all of them were built, which it must be, because I think there were only 7 pairs and 7 and 31 pairs. That's all there is up there, isn't it? But what it makes me think of is I've been doing all those videos about Tolkien, right, and the Lord of the Rings, and the Victoria Tower and then Emily Mast marks the Tolkien period. You see, you've got this, it says concrete TV receiving station. So there's an idea. You see, in the 50s, the transmitter at Emily Moor was only like that one. So Lincolnshire, wasn't it? And previously to that, it was only like a metal framework thing. So if these are from 53, 55, whatever, we've got this idea popping onto it of concrete TV receiving station. But that's miles. It wasn't built until 1971. But where would you get an idea from to build a concrete circular television mast? Concrete TV station, receiving station. Oh, it's receiving there, but still concrete TV station. On the same sheet as what the Edgewood Avenue houses were on. Now, that which happens to be a major site, like in Castle Hill in the area, which is a major site. Well, if not the major site, really. It's a 40-metre high hill fort remains. Now, what happens to be built later on, 1971 or 73, whatever, is Elmore TV mast, which is made out of concrete circles piled up. It's a concrete TV broadcasting station sending out, not receiving. Concrete TV receiving station. So, who was sending signals and receiving them? Was it George Haigh? Was it the council? Could it have been this committee? Concrete receiving station. We will send a signal and you will receive it of building on there. Maybe. I don't know. Something like that going on. But this is when Varley's still... I don't think the war was still... I had a computer game in 1943 when war was still going in 1943. So, you're not long after the war. And then Varley... I don't know what... Varley figures into this as well. And all these concrete TV stations. Concrete... Look at all this asbestos they're putting up. They must have known asbestos was dangerous back then. Look at all this. Asbestos garage. Now they're saying... that Anonymous has just uploaded a video saying that like they're putting aluminium spraying out of plane engines and all sorts of stuff now. Sugar's not any good, is it? Dr. Eckberg and Dr. Berg. Surely if you've done experiments on asbestos before you fill all the garages with it. Apparently if you breathe it in. So whoever's testing asbestos didn't happen to know that when you breathe it in it caused it's toxic. Oh, come on. Oh, let's fill all the garages with it.